Hey, good day, everyone. How is everyone? I hope everyone is great. We just entered the month of Capricorn, and well, we know Capricorns, or the month of Capricorn, which all of us become a little bit Capricorn. Those are the people who are probably the most responsible in the zodiac. I mean, they want you to trust them. They're responsible for what goes on. I mean, if you ask them, they will tell you that they're responsible. What other issues are there of Capricorn or the energy itself? It's a very physical sign. And what I mean by that is Capricorns probably are the least spiritual of all of the signs of the zodiac. Please don't take it personally. But you guys are very physically oriented. Our teacher, the Rav, used to say that those people are from Missouri. You know why Missouri in the States? Because on the license plate it says, "Show me state." Missouri is the show me state, which means I'll believe it when I see it. And therefore, those people who are Capricorns generally only believe in what they can see and touch and feel, and that's it. So spiritual things are difficult because it's hard to see how what I do now can affect tomorrow. They don't necessarily make that type of connection. And I didn't even want to talk about Capricorn, but it'll come into the conversation. What I really wanted to talk about is a concept which we call in Kabbalah lishma. Lishma. Lishma literally means for the name. For the sake of the name. But what it really means to us is doing things for a real spiritual purpose. Really doing things with the right intentions. Really doing spiritual work. There's the concept of lishma, for the name, or lo lishma, that which is not for the name, meaning doing things that are not necessarily for the right purpose, not necessarily with the right intention. And that, it could be anything. We could meditate or pray. And it could be because I just want something. And I want to have something my way, so I'll pray for it. And that's what we would call lo lishma, not for the purpose. Because purpose of praying is not so that we can get what we want. The purpose of our prayers, as an example, is so that we could make a connection so that the Creator will fill our needs according to what our true needs are. Because if it's not our true needs and it's just a desire that we have, it may not turn out well for us in the end of the game. So the Creator only wants good for us. So we know sometimes it's a blessing that we don't get exactly what we want. But we should be always asking for what we need. Having said that, if we understand that idea, it's very important that we understand when we are on any type of spiritual path and we begin to better ourselves, it's very important for us not to have any expectations that things should be better now. I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but they may even get worse. But I'm going to tell you the reason. We know there's a principle in spiritual teachings, and not only in Kabbalah, that ego is a blockage. Very plain and simple. Ego is a spiritual blockage. Everybody knows that. So, if ego is a blockage, and according to Kabbalah, it's the greatest blockage, and we're talking about the ego, which is a selfish ego, which says, I'm the one, and I'm the greatest, and I am the thing that everything comes from me. And that's the real essence of ego, right? I am the origin of whatever. Whether I am the origin of my success or your success, which means I am the one, which almost sounds like a Capricornish way of understanding things. We'll get back to that in a second. So, that being the case, then ego, the blockage, guess what? When we begin to really make effort to do spiritual work, which requires effort and giving and helping and sharing, giving of ourselves, you may be very surprised to know that ego only comes about when we give something. Again, ego manifests itself in our life when we give. There's no ego in receiving. When we're receiving, actually, especially if we receive without doing anything for it, we know there's a shame. Whether we consciously feel it or not, someone takes you to the movies and pays your way, you may not feel that comfortable, okay? Especially if they do it all the time. I'm not talking that you get used to it after a while. But the real fact of the matter is that receiving gives us some level of shame inside when we only receive. But giving, when we give to other people, when we help out, there's almost a feeling of deserving something, even though we don't want anything in return. But even if we just feel like, I gave. You know the expression, I gave at the office. You're not ashamed to say that. The mere fact that we're not ashamed to say that we give is already the beginning of the ego. Because spiritual work really demands of us some level of humility. Because the only way we can really receive from the Creator is to be in a place of humility. When something gets us upset, we're no longer in a place of humility. When something gets us fearful, we're no longer in a place of humility. Humility is a very interesting thing because humility means I have respect and desire and love of the Creator. That's the only way the Creator can come in, when we are in a place of humility. When we're in humility, we're not manifesting ego. So, what does it mean? So, when we really begin to do spiritual work, there's an unconscious and sometimes conscious expectation, oh, wait a second. I'm doing all this spiritual work, and in fact, I'm working very hard. Things should get better. And again, the Kabbalists speak, and Rav Ashlag speaks about this, that when you do spiritual work, things might actually go down. I hate to say it, but you have to be aware. Things might get worse. And he says, it's almost like God telling you, push yourself. Go back to your humility. Do. And things are going to change. Things are going to break open and be better than ever before. But we have to go through that stage. Because the danger of sharing is falling into the trap that I'm the giver now. Without realizing that it's only the Creator that gives us the ability to give. And that's also that little point which the month of Capricorn needs. And this month, we all become a little bit Capricorn, if you know what I mean. And Capricorn says, I'm responsible, I worked for it, I own it, I can do what I want. And again, it's simply not true. What a Capricorn, or the energy of Capricorn, and I'm not picking on you if you're a Capricorn, but what the energy of Capricorn fails to realize is, there's something beyond that gives me the strength and the power and the energy and the opportunity to do whatever it is that I do. Yes, I may be a very hard worker, but who gives me the strength to be able to do that work? Who gives me the wisdom? Who gives me the knowledge? Who gives me the what for? Only the Creator's light. And without the Creator's light, I am an absolute nothing. I'm a zero. I can't do anything. And that is the place that we need to realize and understand, and that's where we need to be. In our spiritual work, especially when we work hard in our spiritual work, at the same time, we have to increase our humility commensurately. We do spiritual action, then we have to inject humility. It's a constant battle because, again, our nature says and our opponent says, but you worked, so you gave, you helped, so where's mine? And again, even if you're the type of person that just likes to give, if there are people like that, please take my word for it. Even if you're just a giver by nature, you internally will feel justified to be the one who says, well, I'm the giver here. And we're really not. We're really not. Our giving is only a decision that we make, and it's the privilege that the Creator gives us to be able to be receivers. And if our ego goes up in the giving, we block that receiving. So let's try to remember this the entire month. The humility is the most important factor. Yes, it's important to work hard. Yes, it's important to take responsibility. But along with that must come great humility. And when we have that combination, then we can receive all the blessings that the Creator already has intended for us. Have a great week, everyone, and an amazing month. All the best. Thanks for watching.